Hi everyone, it's been a little while since I made a video, so I thought I would just share my experience with my recent heart catheterization I had. So I haven't seen very many videos about this, so I thought I would just share my experiences. I haven't seen very many, and anything to do with the heart can be a little bit unsettling and nerve-wracking, so I would just like to share my experience and my thoughts on it. I know not everyone's experience is going to be the same, so I know mine definitely wasn't. So I just thought I would share how it went for me and what to expect. So I've had some heart symptoms for a while now, off and on throughout the years, especially after the COVID injection. I started having more frequent heart palpitations, and so I started seeing a cardiologist again. I've seen a few over the years because I also have POTS, which stands for postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, and so I was being treated for that, and then it all was, okay. I actually got better for my heart palpitations, but then I started every once in a while when I was exercising or doing more active activities, more strenuous. Every once in a while, I would get like angina type chest pain. Like if I breathed in, it would kind of hurt, and then I still got heart palpitations randomly. I've always had tachycardia, so that's nothing new or anything. But I'm on beta blockers to treat that, or at least help with it. And so I decided to tell my cardiologist about that. So he ordered a stress test. It was a nuclear stress test. I've had the regular one a couple years ago, and it was pretty much normal. They said that my heart rate got pretty high, and I should have been able to go on the treadmill longer than what I did, but they said it was normal and whatnot. And then on this nuclear stress test I had, they said that it didn't fully go through properly on like the left ventricle, and so he recommended that I get a heart catheterization and to check to make sure there's no blockages. And they told me to take baby aspirin, make sure that there's no blood clots or anything like that, and to help with it. And so I did, and then my heart catheterization was like scheduled a little month out, so that's more anxiety and all that. And most people I talked to, they didn't have any problem. They said it's painless. They give you stuff to calm you down, and so that you'll be awake, but you'll be on stuff that makes you kind of sleepy and that you shouldn't remember a whole lot. And they said also give you stuff for pain, but other than that, I really didn't know what to expect. I didn't think it'd be, too bad, but my anxiety was telling me different. I was pretty nervous when it came down to it. Actually, I've already got stomach issues already, and you can't eat after midnight, um, so I didn't eat, or anything. I ate a snack before, and then I didn't eat anything. I was too nervous to eat anyways, and I just felt so sick by the time I got to the hospital. We had to leave here really early because I had to be there by 7 in the morning, and it's all the way up in the city, so that's over an hour drive for me. So we left. We woke up. I had to wake up like at 3:30 in the morning, and then we had to leave by 5:15, I believe. And then we drove up there, and as soon as I got to the hospital, I started dry heaving really bad, and of course I had nothing in my stomach, so it was just awful. And I finally got in there and got checked in and everything, and then they check your vitals. They do an EKG, which I've seen in my records that actually came out abnormal, which was odd to me. They didn't tell me anything, so I don't know why it came out abnormal. My heart rate was okay, and it was in sinus rhythm, which means normal, so I really don't know why it would be abnormal. My blood work was just slightly off here and there, but it wasn't anything to bring concern. My doctor hasn't even called me on it, so I'm assuming they're not very worried about it. And so they gave me an IV. They got me all ready to go, and then the nurses took me back there to get prepped, and they have to do all kinds of stuff to you for prepping, which I didn't realize. They had to put all this different stuff on your chest and all that, so just in case there's emergency, or if they have to, worst case scenario, shock your heart back in a rhythm. But That's just a safety precaution they do, and they have to make sure your wrist or your groin is shaved, whatever they use, which they prepped me for both areas just in case, but they actually just went through my wrist, which they say is better because it's a faster healing process. And so they had me all hooked up to the IV, of course. They wheeled me back there. They got me all prepped. And so we just waiting on the cardiologist to come back there to start the catheterization. And I laid there for a good while. It actually started hurting my back, that hard table, and I wasn't really supposed to move, but I was in so much pain. My back and stuff started hurting, so I was getting kind of, pretty uncomfortable. So the cardiologist finally gets back there, and he starts the catheterization, and it was a lot of pain in my arm. Like, it just hurt so bad, and I'm not used to that when I'm at the doctor, and I'm actually kind of shy, so I didn't know what to do. I kept saying, this really hurts, and he said, yeah, your arm, you're having muscle spasms in your arm. And I read later that that's not common at all. That's actually very rare. And of course, I'm one of the lucky ones that had to deal with that. So I was in a lot of pain all the way up until my forearm is where it hurt. And I kept, telling him over and over it really hurts. And then when they put the pain medicine in before he even started, it actually leaked out of the IV. So I told the nurse, and she went back and fixed it and redid it. And they gave me fentanyl and I forgot what the other medicine was. Supposed to help with anxiety, but I did not feel any different whatsoever. I was wide awake, very well aware of what was going on, very alert, and very much feeling the pain. And the whole procedure, it felt like I was in there forever because my back was hurting, my arm was hurting, and so I started kicking my legs because I didn't know what else to do to show that I was in pain. If you don't tell them, they're not going to know. So he just kept on with the procedure, and I tried to remain as still as possible with my arm. Didn't want to move, and it actually started putting my heart out of rhythm as well, which I could definitely feel that. That was a very weird sensation. As soon as he got to my right ventricle, it started making my heart beat really strange. And so I told him, and he said, yeah, just bear with him. And then he finally got done with the catheterization and said that everything looked good, that I actually have no blockage, which was great, but my arm was killing me. And I found out by the time I got wheeled out, by then I was feeling very well aware of everything, but I was dizzy because of all the medicine. And I found out from the nurse that they actually had to give me 100 milligrams of fentanyl, and most people only get 25, so they had to give me quite a bit. And I don't take anything like that. I don't take any pain medication or anything besides, of course, like Tylenol or ibuprofen. So that was, I was very surprised that they had to give me that much. And I was still in pain. My arm still hurt. It still hurt for several days even after that, off and on. And even my chest, I still get more chest pain now since that procedure. So I think it probably caused it or something. I don't know. And I still get random chest pain. It's not as much or anything, but I still get it. And so I really don't know what the cause of it is. I have acid reflux as well, and I got other digestive issues, so maybe it's from that. I don't know. I don't know, but at least my heart tests were good, so that's great. I'm glad I don't have any blockages, and then I survived it. And most people really don't have any issues, so hopefully if you have to get this procedure done, you won't have any issues either. I have a follow-up with my doctor, and after I got out of the procedure, my vision started looking really strange. Like I had white spots all in my vision, so I couldn't read things or look at my hands very well. Like it just, parts were missing. And so I called the nurse over there, and she said it's most likely from all the medication they had to give me. And she was right, because after a couple hours later, I got better. I had tried to sleep it off because I didn't like that sensation. And a couple hours later, I got better, but then my arm was really, hurting. And you can't lift anything over 5 pounds after procedure for 7 days. And if it's on your wrist. And you also have to be really careful with where they insert it. It's a very small insertion, but it can cause, like, if you cut it or something or rip it open, then that can be really bad because it's the main artery. So you have to be very, very careful. And I had to stay in the hospital for like 3 or 4 hours after the procedure. And they offer you snacks and whatnot after you get back. But by then I was just so tired and ready to go and in pain that I wasn't really concerned, just ready to go. But yeah, it was definitely didn't go how expected, but I'm really glad it's over, and hopefully I don't have to go through that ever again. If I do, I would definitely opt for being completely put to sleep, because those muscle spasms in my arm was just really bad. It kind of reminded me, it was just like having a reoccurring Charlie horse like in your leg that jolts you up at night. It just was constant in my arm. So yeah, if I ever have to go through it again, I would definitely be requesting to be put to sleep. But the reason why they didn't put me to sleep is because apparently it's not standard, and also because they have you to breathe in, take deep breaths, and hold your breath a lot when they're checking for blockages and blood clots and whatnot. But yeah, that was my experience. I'm sorry if that scares you, but hopefully it doesn't really go that bad for you. Like I said, most people do great. They have no problems whatsoever. They're not in pain. Some of them don't remember it, but I was wide awake and very well alert and remember everything. So yeah, I've had ultrasounds many times as well. Those always come back okay, which is great. This is my only stress test that I had that was, abnormal, so that was a bit scary, but luckily they didn't find any blockages. So if you have to go through this, best of luck, and I hope it goes well for you and pain-free. And yeah, if I have any more updates, I will come back on here and update. Everyone have a good day or good evening. Bye-bye.